Welcome back. Onto this now. The University of Eswatini has for a long time been the pillar of tertiary education, contributing hugely to the market industry in Eswatini. The university recently launched the Mvasi Alumni Club initiative at Kwaluseni campus. Now, the UNESWA Endowment Fund's 2025 to 2030 strategy map was also unveiled, a plan to raise funds for key university projects and long-term sustainability. We're now joined by the Chief Executive Officer of the UNESWA Endowment Fund, Vulisi Melane, to talk to us more about these initiatives. A very good afternoon to you, Mguni, and thank you so much for coming to our studios today. Perhaps we can start off just by, giving us the understanding of what is the UNESWA Endowment Fund.
Good afternoon to you, Notile. Thank you for having me over here on your show. And maybe I can begin just by saying the UNESWA Endowment Fund is a legal trust that was established in the year 2004 as a special vehicle for mobilizing resources towards the institutional advancement and financial sustainability of the university.
Right. And here we are now. We do have the Mvasi Alumni Club, but perhaps we get to it. What are some of the objectives or the mandate of the Endowment Fund?
The objectives of the Endowment Fund, they include galvanizing partnerships locally and internationally towards the betterment of the institution. In addition, it is to promote and position the university as a viable investment opportunity and destination, and be at the forefront of spearheading the development of the institution, including the rehabilitation of the physical infrastructure of the institution. The Endowment Fund is also involved in soliciting privately funded scholarships for the university students who are not beneficiaries of the government scholarship program. In addition, the Endowment Fund also invests funds with various, investment management firms to ensure that it generates, attractive yields that are going to ensure that the institution, remains future fit and it's able to, deliver on its mandate to develop the human capital of the country.
And I believe these also have a hand in addressing some of the challenges faced by UNESWA. That's
Absolutely.
Right. Now we do have the Mvasi Alumni Club that has been launched. How does it align with the UNESWA strategic plan?
So the Alumni Club is one of 6 key business units that are outlined in the new strategic plan of the Endowment Fund. And, before I answer that question, Natila, I think it's important to actually bring maybe viewers up to speed that the Alumni Club forms part of the Endowment Fund drive to innovate its business model. And this is a reason as a result of changes in international donor funding patterns. Okay. And in the new strategic plan, the Endowment Fund has adopted a stronger commercial orientation and a deeper investment focus on financial sustainability of the institution. And as you can see, the organization has also rebranded from its previous name, which is the foundation, and it's now more moving towards becoming a fund in terms of both form and function. So it is behaving more like a fund or an investment vehicle of the university.
Right. In terms of functionality, or before that, the Alumni Club, can you please unpack it for us exactly? What is this fund and what are the types of revenue generating initiatives that have been planned?
So the Alumni Club is one of the exciting initiatives that we have unveiled last week during our function. Right. And it has got an attractive or an impressive product suite that has 5 product lines spanning across events, registration services, crowdfunding, as well as, leveraging the sports facility that the university is well endowed with. So it's also got about 17 product types that are earmarked to generate, resources for the institution. And And we believe that the target market audiences of the Alumni Club, which are, former students, current students, staff members, as well as the friends of the university, which is effectively all Eswatini. They've been earmarked to participate in the various initiatives that will be taking place at the institution.
Right. And how will the university benefit from all that the Alumni Club has to offer, or at least the initiatives that the Endowment Fund is planning on implementing through this club?
Yeah, I think, Notsila, I just want to begin by highlighting the fact that, the University of Eswatini is not an exception to the rule when it comes to, proactive involvement of alumni in its various, resource mobilization strategies. It's a global best practice that alumni, participate in various, initiatives that aim to, strengthen the financial sustainability of the institution.
Right.
And internationally, we see that quite extensively. You will recall that a couple of years ago, in 2018 specifically, one of UNESWA's illustrious alumni, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, he made a sponsorship of 10 million Amalangeni, which has been utilized towards, developing various lecture rooms and classroom facilities within the institution. So UNESWA, definitely, the university is going to benefit quite substantially in terms of, its various strategic pillars, particularly or specifically addressing, the financial distress that the institution is currently experiencing. We all do know that the university is currently insolvent, and I think, the alumni involvement is going to, help, alleviate some of the challenges that the institution is facing in terms of meeting its short-term to long-term financial obligations.
Right. When we talk about the Alumni Club, who can actually participate?
Yeah, as I previously mentioned, that, in our context, Eswatini, we're one big family, and indeed, it is important to dispel, the myth that alumni only is restricted exclusively to those who have studied within the institution. We have classified within Eswatini, even parents, they form part of alumni, friends of the institution, they form part of alumni, those who have studied there, those who are going to study there in the future, even current students, are part of the bigger family of alumni, because alumni really means somebody who is a member or somebody who has shares affinity with what the institution is trying to achieve. And we do know very well that the University of Eswatini is the national university, and it is the main driver of human capital development, innovation, and enterprise in the country.
Right. UNESWA, the institution as a whole, is no stranger to headlines, especially disappointing headlines with regards to finances. When you look at the endowment fund, what have been some of the challenges existing there that may have prohibited or restricted the fund in terms of actually fulfilling its mandate?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is a very important point. Obviously, when the university sneezes, all the subsidiaries of the institution, they catch a cold. We also do want to state that, indeed, the UNESWA Endowment Fund is a separate legal trust, meaning it is the trust account of the institution. It is autonomous from the university, so it is managed independently. It produces its own annual financial statements. It is governed by a board of trustees that is comprised of men and women of proven track record in business and community leadership. And it is, like I said, it is audited separately. And the endowment fund also does realize that, the reputational capital of the organization largely depends on how the university is perceived. So we're working very closely with the marketing division and the corporate affairs section of the university to be more proactive in terms of, sharing positive stories about the various accomplishments of the institution, which perhaps maybe in the last couple of years has not been a strong point of the institution, but we are really proactively, driving the integrated marketing communication strategy of the university so that, there is balance in the reporting. It's not all negative. There's quite a lot of, achievements that the university has delivered on, including new academic programs that align with evolving market demand or within the labor market, and which address, some of the skills gaps that have been identified in the national skills, audit. So we do get affected when the university is reported on negatively, and it is in our best interest to actually promote, therefore, the institution and really tell, some of the successful, happenings that are occurring on a daily basis within the institution.
All right. Finally, Mnguni, with the establishment or launch of the Alumni Club, now, of course, one would think you want to mobilize resources because really financial or long-term sustainability is at the heart of it all.
Yeah.
But should the funds, the necessary funds actually be mobilized, what are the strategies there to ensure that there is accountability, there is transparency as well?
First and foremost, the endowment fund, by rebranding into a fund as opposed to a foundation, we're also moving away from the notion that we're a non-profit organization strictly, because a non-profit organization should make profit. And in fact, our non-profit status is really for availing tax incentives to those who are providing funding to the institution.
Right.
And as I previously mentioned, we have adopted, a stronger commercial orientation with a keen investment focus, so that we ensure that the university is future fit, it is sustainable, not only now, but in the future, and it earns compound interest. And some of the measures that have been put in place, they include the development of an investment policy statement. And we have one of the largest investment, advisory firms that has committed itself to providing that type of service on a pro bono basis. And this will ensure that, there is prudential financial management and everything is governed above board. And we also want to indicate, most importantly, that the funds that are generated by the endowment funds, various business activities, they are not going to be used willy-nilly for the operational or day-to-day operations of the institution. Rather, it's more like a wealth fund of the institution, or a rainy day fund that is going to be governed by, a predetermined set of principles.
Right. Mr. Smalane, thank you so much for your time. That was Velis Milane, who is the CEO of the UNESWA Endowment Fund. We were discussing the recently launched Embassy Alumni Club and also just the objectives and mandate of the UNESWA Endowment Fund. Otherwise, this is Market View. Stay tuned. After this, we're in conversation with in-house economist Sanele Sibia.